What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Ontology. Ontology was always a project that I was quite bullish on. They shifted over the last couple of years towards digital identity solutions. I'm not a big fan of this in terms of the concept. I've spoken about it before, but I do think Ontology is probably primed to have some decent success. Given that their solution has already been used by Binance. I'll explain why I'm not particularly fond of the whole digital identity too, which is maybe conspiratorial, but it is what it is. It's what I think and feel. So I'll go through that in this vid too. But Ontology, I do think there are gains here. So we'll break this down. Before I get into it though, if you're new to the channel, guys, these are the first 26 coins I spoke about on this channel. They're also the first 26 coins I owned when I made this channel. Had you put in just $100 into each of these coins when I released videos about them, and then you never sold them, you just ignored them, you missed the whole bull cycle, you rode them into a recession, you did everything wrong. If you sold them all today, you would be able to bank 16 grand from a $2,600 investment. So even doing everything wrong, that's good returns. But if you just sold these coins when the markets were red hot in 2021, like I did, $100 into each could have netted you a complete profit of 123 grand. Huge difference between doing the right and the wrong thing. Now, as I said, I sold all these. They're not what I own, but if you want to see the coins that I currently own, you can do. Just go to copymycrypto.com. On the site, I share my portfolio. I give the members real-time updates anytime I buy or sell any crypto. Videos are released every day talking about the markets. We've had pinpoint accuracy on them for months and months and months now. Our tutorials are there set up for beginners. If you are a crypto beginner, these are perfect for you. They'll guide you and help you get started on your crypto journey. And guys, we have a history of success on this channel. We have a history of success on our site. We've called big winners on both. None more so than Phantom. Phantom went up 677 times. For when I created a course called The Best Crypto Investment of 2020. No one was talking about Phantom in 2020. Not your favorite crypto YouTuber. No one. And I recommend people go look. No one was talking about it. And I will find another Phantom, another coin that can do that kind of run. And when I do, rather than creating a course like I did last time, I'm simply going to go onto my site, tell the members about the coin, tell them the gains I think it can have, and tell them the percentage of my money I'm putting in. And if they want to copy along, they can. If that interests you, if you want to take the hours and hours of research out of your crypto investing, go read the site now. And remember that anything you read, you can verify on this channel's history. So Ontology, priced at around 28 cents. You know, long term, we've got to acknowledge Ontology is on a declining price point. Now, I will point out it launched at a pretty much, like it launched after the bear cycle began in 2018. It did rally, actually quite nicely. It rallied up to like nearly $10, but well, I think it was $10 when it's all-time high, and since capitulated. Last year, 2021, hit heights of like $2.50. So definite downtrend. Now, the thing is with Ontology is they've shifted their focus because they were effectively built and designed very similarly to Neo. You know, it was a really high-speed blockchain. It was really low cost. You know, they've got the same sort of dual token. They've got Ontology and Ontology Gas. But they have shifted what their focus is. So the focus is more on decentralized identity and data solutions. And yes, they have their own Ethereum virtual machine. And in terms of moving funds around and moving anything around on Ontology, really cheap, really easy, really simple. Yeah, Ontology, you move Ontology Gas pays for the move. But their shift and their focus now is on Ontology or ONT ID. And this is bringing trustless identity to Web3. So for users, you can reclaim control of your digital identity It enables autonomous control of your private data, and you can decide if you want to share it with anyone. For developers, it allows apps to be built with Ontology with ONT ID. They've got obviously interoperable tools and multi-virtual machine support. So it gives developers the opportunity to sort of push on their vision. Businesses can use ONT ID, and there's no need to discard their current framework. The decentralized data that ONT ID use is a complementary layer that integrates on top of any existing systems. Now, my issue has always been the same with digital ID. Is look, I mean, this is the UK government website. So this is Digital Identity Programme. We're working to help people securely prove who they are without having to rely on physical documents. And, you know, it runs through. This is, like I said, the UK government's website, talking about how they want to use the Department for Science, Innovation and Tech to ensure that digital ID can help individuals. And the premise always runs off of the same thing. Whenever it's government, it's fear. It's always fear. You can protect yourself from fraud if you've got your digital ID set up. You can protect yourself. You can protect yourself. It's always the premise. As a business, you can protect yourself. As an employee, you can protect yourself. As an employer, you can protect yourself. That's the whole thing, and I friggin' hate it. And the problem is the moment that a narrative starts really shifting in this fashion, there inevitably becomes a requirement to do these things. And that's my worry with these kind of things, is that governments worldwide are going to start pushing on this. And then it won't be a decentralized identity solution that's being pushed. It will be an overarching centralized identity solution. Which is why part of me thinks that these crypto decentralized identity solutions don't necessarily have legs long term, because I think governments are going to require a centralized source that everyone has to do. And this is an article by payments.com, and it's talking about why digital identity is about more than fighting fraud. But it's still fighting fraud. Just heard that start playing. And this is it. You know, mitigating fraud is always a big thing. And you start with fear-mongering. I just don't like it. I understand what people are suggesting in terms of a premise. I understand what people are suggesting in terms of this could actually be beneficial to businesses in terms of data. But it's more information that you're giving away. And I get Ontology ID. I get that there are these cryptos that are going, no, manage your own ID. Only share your data with who you want to share it with. But long term, like, how many people care about that? That's also something that always has to be questioned. How many people care about their data? Because genuinely, most people I know, when they go onto a website, accept all cookies. It's literally the first thing everyone does that I know. No one reads the cookies. No one rejects them that I know. I know some people do. I do personally. But the majority of people that I know just go, yeah, accept. Don't care what they're tracking. When Edward Snowden did his revelations about the government spying on us, how many people got upset? Not enough. Nowhere close to enough. All the WikiLeaks stuff that's come out, no one cares. Or people don't care enough. And I'm not. My concern with the digital ID as a concept long term is, do people really care? That's a big thing. I don't think the masses care. And I think when narrative is going to be pushed, the narrative is going to be all around protecting people from fraud by having a complete digital identity. And I think that will be an enforced government-based system. I think we can already see that's on the horizon in the UK. And when that happens, are people going to start using decentralized ID for crypto? Are people going to start caring about their data and they're just giving it away? There's too many things that, to me, fundamentally go against what the majority of people do. And I don't know, man. Like, Ontology ID, or Ontology can have success, for sure. And part of the reason for that is, like, their solution is already being used by Binance. Their solution may well be integrated in a lot of different projects. They seem to have good connections with a number of different major crypto projects, like your Polkadot, your Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, you know, your Near. So I do think they're probably going to at least rally a bit. I'm looking at it going, I think the reality is it's in a long-term downtrend. So the big question is how big a narrative does decentralized identity become? I think it can become a massive one. It feels like over the last couple of years there's been a much larger shift towards this narrative that is really important. And as a result, it does make me think that, you know, we're probably going to have a shift where we see your litentries and your ontologies have a good run because of the need for decentralized identity solutions. But I look at ontology and I go, look, long-term downtrend. I'm not convinced that it breaks its high from 2021. So I'd only stick to about $2 right now, which is about an 8x. But if the identity solutions narrative goes really strong and gets really, really heavy over the next couple of years, in the sort of same way that we've seen over the last couple of months, like an AI narrative really pushed, or a trend that's begun. If the digital identity trend happens, Ontology will probably be one of the biggest winners because they're used by Binance. You know, they're heavily used by Binance. And they'll be used by others. And they're probably further along on their solutions right now than your litentries, as an example. Although litentry, lower market cap, so probably should have more gains. But I don't like it. I mean, it boils down to that. Like, I think there's the narrative shift that we're seeing within crypto is just a reflection of what we're going to see in government. And if we have to use a centralized one, I think the decentralized solutions effectively fall to the wayside a little bit. And I suppose my overarching question really is, how much do people care? And I think that's actually the big question. You as an individual, if you're watching, like you as an individual that's watching this right now, do you actually care about your a digital identity? Would you want a decentralized digital identity? Do you care about protecting your data from sites? Because you're a reflection, as am I, of retail investors. So maybe businesses, enterprises, whales, or huge or VCs can see value in this, but as just a standard retail investor, as a person that searches the internet every day, do you give a shit about data, about your digital identity? Because if you don't, are other people? That's my question. I do think Ontology can hit $2, but there's larger questions at play for what's coming around the corner from governments on this one. Less to do with crypto, more to do with what's going to be forced upon us. And yes, I know that sounds conspiratorial, but it's how I feel. Let me know how you guys feel. Let me know if anyone shares my reservations. And if you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. Helps the channel immensely. These videos will make you money, they're saving money, and fundamentally, guys, it's a nice thing to do, be a nice person. And if you guys want to see the coins I own right now, go to copymycrypto.com. On the site, I share my portfolio. I share anytime I buy or sell any crypto. Release videos every day talking about the markets. We've pinpoint accuracy on that for so many months now. The tutorials that we've got in place on the site are absolutely perfect for beginners. They're exactly what you need to get started in crypto. And guys, if you're looking to take all the hours of research out of your crypto investing, this is the site for you. I go into every coin that I'm in. I explain what the gains I think are going to be had. I put the percentage of my money in so the members are aware of that. And we've got a massive history of success. No one else in 2020 called Phantom as a big gainer, let alone the biggest gainer. And when I find the next Phantom, I'm going to do exactly what I do with all my other investments, which is go onto the site and tell the members about the coin, the gains, and the percentage of my money I'm putting in. And if they want a copy, they can. If that does sound good to you, go read the site, and remember that anything you read there, you can verify on this YouTube channel's history. And maybe I'll see you there, guys. Take it easy.